I'm Anna Berry with Powerhouse Risha Grant, and you are diversity personified.
Yes.
Divorced,
Yes.
ex-preacher's wife,
Yes.
former Division I pro basketball player for Kansas State University.
Kansas State.
Beautiful black woman,
thank you.
bisexual black woman. You're CEO
Yes.
of your own business.
I have been for a long time.
I don't think you're diversity. I think you are us. You are America.
Right,
To me,
right.
you're all American.
That's
you're
true.
the living dream.
That's
but to other
true, but-
people, you're diversity.
Exactly. I think that people don't recognize what diversity is. They like to lump it into it just being about color.
Right.
Black, white, Hispanic at that. You know, sprinkle in Asian here and there.
Right.
But, they don't think about it as being more of that. To me, diversity is what makes you unique. It's what makes you you. So some of those things, and the whole reason I kind of have that mantra is because a lot of times people don't recognize that they are diverse, or if they do, it's always they don't see themselves as other people see them. So when I say I'm divorced, to a lot of people that puts me in a negative category. To me, it was pretty positive.
Right. It just depends on how you look at it.
Exactly.
All things are.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, we live in a very diverse time right now, politically, socially, economically,
Exactly.
religiously, spiritually. You know, and you're a professional when it comes to understanding kind of the temperature of where we are right now. So talk a little bit about what you do as a coach, as a writer, as a speaker, and where we are with the state of the world.
Well, I started this 19 years ago, and companies when they would hire me, they wanted me to come in and fix their diversity problem.
Right.
You don't have a diversity problem, you have a people problem.
Yeah.
So we've got to fix people. And a lot of that comes from our biases that we've had since we were little. I mean, we don't even know that it's being introduced to us in most cases. And bias usually comes from one of four places: family, friends, a personal experience, or the media. And when it comes, especially from family and friends and personal experiences, it's really a deep-rooted process. I feel that bias happens before you get to racism and sexism and ageism. You have these biases. In my opinion, when you take a whole group of people and you put them in a box based on the actions of a few, it's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Okay, so let's talk about your book.
Yes.
That's BS. And it does have two meanings.
It does have two meanings. It does, but I wanted to come up with a clever way to have a tough conversation. And in its most simplistic nature, it is about bullshit and how we treat each other and how we treat each other differently based on the diversity of who we are. But the real meaning of bias synapse is a real thing, and how our brains work on autopilot, and we have to cut our brains off.
With your wisdom, your life experience, and your coaching, how do you handle this very important debate about should we, stop and frisk this kid if he's wearing a hoodie and he's walking with his head down, or should we let him go?
So I think when you're talking about cops, we are talking about we want cops to be suspicious. They're trained to be suspicious, but I also think there's a fine line between how you address the situation. It's one thing if I'm walking down the street and I have a hoodie on and you stop me and say, "Show me your ID." Why? Why do I need to show you my ID? I'm walking down the street, I'm not bothering anybody. I think there's a different conversation if it's, hey, there was a break-in around the corner. I am making sure that everybody is safe. Where do you live? Where are you going? I don't think that the right protocol is being taken in a lot of these cases. So I think each situation is different. If it's my neighborhood, I want to make sure that it's safe. But I also think when you think about hoodies, it's ridiculous because you have some kids that when I play basketball, you saw me in a hoodie a lot. You saw me in shorts a lot. You didn't see me dressed like this. I play basketball all day. So the look that I had probably was one that in today's culture, maybe I'm gonna get stopped. A lot of kids of color who may dress like that and may look like that, and that scares me because I think that we have to recognize our own biases. That's why we have to do the work internally. Before we can worry about our companies and our communities, we have to fix us. These aren't diversity problems, they're people problems.
I mean, when reading your book, you used to not even support interracial marriage.
Yeah, I was not big.
You didn't
on
trust
it.
white people.
No. And I still struggle with it. I will not lie.
How did you personally overcome that? Because now you seem very inclusive. How did you overcome that?
Because this is what I want people to know. I've been doing this work for a long time, but it doesn't just go away because it's so deeply rooted. So when something happens, the first thing that enters your mind is, yeah, see, here we go. And I
knew it.
Yes, I knew it. And you have to pull back from that and say, okay, so a synapse, if we go back to 8th grade science for just a moment, is how your brain communicates between brain cells. That's usually in one direction, right? That's also how our biases work. You think negatively, one direction. You know, that's fine if that's your college football team or something, but we're talking about people, we're talking about humanity.
Evolving humans.
Exactly. A lot of people look at the concept of diversity and inclusion as this really complex issue, and it's not. Most of the things, the concept of diversity and inclusion, we learned when we were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Treat people with respect. Don't talk about others behind their back. How you play well with others.
The golden rule, do unto others.
Or the platinum rule. This is treat people the way they want to be treated. Not the way you want to treat them, but the way they want to be treated. And figuring out what that is. So yes, we can get there because it's really easy. We don't change because we don't want to. And that's why the whole concept of BS came about. It's like, really? We know better than this.
It's a good conversation to have regardless, because I think the world is becoming more and more diversified, whether you like it or not, and I think it's a great thing. Uniting us through our cultural, racial, sexual, spiritual differences.
Well, think how boring we would be.
If every tree was a pine tree, it would be a very boring world.
It would be very boring.
What's your website?
www.rishagrant.com.
That's easy.
It's very easy.
And it's a beautiful website too.
Thank you.
So congratulations to that. Check Risha out. And yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of this lady. So I really appreciate you being on Unscripted.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for watching.